Great evening to all of you. I am Consolee. To be honest, I feel nervous. Yeah, it's an honor and a privilege to be standing before all of you. But first, I would like to say thank you for standing with Acts4Rwanda till today. And on a special note, I would love to thank Mama Linda who's taking me a video. So it is my first time to get out of the country and on a plane. It was quite an experience because I was alone and I did not do too well with the landings. So probably just like anybody else. Not taking much of the time. I am Consolee, of course, they mentioned, and I am an acts achiever. They told you that I'm not an acts achiever is a child sponsored in Acts4Rwanda. So I have been one since 2014, and we are 5 of us at home and our mom. So we have a dad, but he chose to abandon our family in 2012, which is when I was doing my grade 6. So life after then, but even before then, did not go well with us. So my big sisters and my brother was not going to school first, and my sisters had to drop out. So one was dropping out year after year, like one after the other. So I was in a boarding school, which is where you go to in Rwanda once you're done with grade 6. We do what we call national exams. And I did my national exam, went to boarding school, was being sponsored by an organization called World Vision. Some of you might know it. So after I did my grade 7, they decided to drop me with no reason and no explanation. So because my dad had already left and my mom was struggling to put food on our table, so getting me school fees to go to a boarding school was not going to be an easy thing to do. It was my turn to either drop out of school or go to a cheap public school, which I was not sure that we were going to afford. So I went to the cheap school in 2014, in the middle of the year, because I couldn't afford to pay the 3 of the terms. We do 3 terms. We call them terms, I don't know what you call them here. So I had to change the school and then go to live with my mom's stepbrother. Went to a school which is where David, the former country director of Acts4Rwanda, found me. And then in the middle of 2015, my mom's cousin brother, who I was living with, got married, and he was not willing to take me with him, of course. So I had to go back to my mom's, which was a longer distance to my school. And Mom was like, let us talk to David about it so that he gets to know that he will not be as close as he used to be, to come for the Bible study, to come for attending all the time when they will need you at the TC, which was an office by then. They probably had not yet called it a transformation center because not many of us were living there. So we told David about it. He was like, no, this child cannot change the school in the middle of the year. She's sitting for her national examination, so changing the school would be a problem. It would be a challenge for her. So he was like, let her come live with me. He had other 2 kids who were like very vulnerable, if I can say, because one of them, the mother was like kind of a drug addict, and she would bring in men, so it was not a conducive environment for her to learn. And the other one had a mom who had like her issues. She never wanted her closer to her. Like she was not probably a mom to her, or she was biologically the mom, but not in an area, or in an area the way, if I can say. So we went to live there with 3 of us, and we could go to school. We were all-day scholars. We could go to school and then come back to the TC, which is when I think they started realizing that some of us were not in conducive environments to learn, and started bringing in more of us. So life was tough, of course, before Acts4Rwanda, and after some years, my sister too, who is our last born, She's sponsored by the parents of one of the board members here in the US. She was recruited in the program, and I went to live at the Transformation Center, and I did my national exams, and I went to a boarding school after grade 9, which is when we do another national exams to go to what we call advanced level, made up of grade 10, 11, and 12. You call it high school here. So I had to go to a boarding school, but of course in the holidays I would still come back to the Transformation Center because it was safe for me to revise my studies, and then I kind of liked it because I would also hide myself from all the troubles that my families would be going through. If they did have food, I could not face the same. They didn't have running water, so I could not face. When they didn't have electricity. Somebody mentioned that when David came here, he said the size of your bathroom is the house. I hope he was not mentioning my mom's place because that's how big it was when he first came to visit us at home. So I went to live at the Transformation Center where we read books. We have a library. It was my first time to see a library at home because we call it home. And we learn, we do the Bible study. I became a born again through Acts4Rwanda. And I am the first and still the only one in my family. So I call it home, and most of us do, I think, I believe, I know, because some of us don't have parents. Some of us are orphans. Others have parents who are a harm to us, that us being with them. There is something that David told me some days back about saving a savior on the plane, that if you are having a baby and then there is a lack of oxygen in the plane, you first put the mask on and then you save the baby later because you can't save the baby. So there is a saving the savior. So he took me from my family and was like, I am going to save the savior. You will do that for your family, but you need to be saved first. So that's where the saviors are kept at the Transformation Center. So in my family, I'm the first one among 5, and I am the second last among those to graduate college. So I am the first one going to college. The first 3 couldn't, my mom couldn't, most of my aunties couldn't. I am breaking the chain, and yeah, thanks to Acts4Rwanda, because I was the one that you heard in the background saying that I could not picture my life without Acts4Rwanda. Literally every good thing that I have in my life I've received through Acts4Rwanda. So I would not be wrong if I called it family. Because actually, if you were to look at other organizations in Rwanda, some do partial sponsorship that some parents will have to add on, but you don't tell a patient to add on some money if they can't feed their child. Because sometimes we also have to receive the food from the Transformation Center that we eat. Most especially in COVID, we do receive food from time to time, but in COVID, if we did not have Acts4Rwanda, things could have turned the other way. So I am the first, of course. I did not mention that I've been doing physiotherapy at college. Yes. And I am soon graduating, looking for opportunities to do my master's. Yes, I'm looking at life in a different angle now, because there was time when I thought about dropping out of school. That's what we did in my family. So you go to school, you don't have school fees, you try and try and try until you cannot try anymore. I'm done with school, so I can't afford this. And you all need to see my mom's face when she's talking about me. She sees all her prayers answered. When you talk about Acts4Rwanda, it brings the light on her face, because She sees me going to college and I am the first among the 5 of us. So Acts4Rwanda has not only given me a chance to childhood by keeping me safe at the Transformation Center, like that was my safe place. I could hide everything from there. They're starving, I don't know. They don't have anything, I don't know. I'm just eating and doing my studies. They're keeping the Savior safe, who will do that later to others, but once she has been kept safe first. So I am grateful to you all, and I've been at the Transformation Center for how long? Since 2015. That is 9 years now. 9? Too bad at mathematics. I do physics though. Yes, so I've been there. It has been my home away from home. It has been a shelter for me, and it has made I've made friends, best friends, the friends for life, those ones that you are to keep. And I'm so grateful for Acts4Rwanda, the sponsorship, but not only that, every program that we have there. Thank you so much for responding to the calling, and I am here. If you have any question, please do not hesitate to reach out to me and ask me. I know all of you now have questions to ask me, either about me, about Acts4Rwanda. Just know that I'm here. Thank you so much for having me this evening. Thank you so much for responding to the calling, Ma'am Linda, and the support staff. I am forever grateful, and I believe everybody else is there. Thank you.